Well, hey guys, you join me back on with the GT6 Mk1 project, and quite a lot has happened to this car since last time we looked at it. So I've been trying to get the engine running on this car, and Dan, the owner of this car, has actually gave us a bit of money to chuck towards getting the engine going. Now I know there's a whole world of issues going on with bodywork, but I'm not a bodywork specialist, I'm a mechanic, so I'm going to do whatever I can do mechanical wise to get the engine going and actually get this car driving. So what we've had since last time is we've got a new coil, we've got a electronic ignition unit fitted to the distributor, new leads, new spark plugs and new old stock carburetors. So theoretically we've got all the ingredients to actually get this engine going. Now I have actually turned over this engine a few times and it's got really low compression going to it, and I have just about managed to get it going for about 3 seconds on easy start. But I think the best thing we can do now is actually take off the cylinder head, clean up the valves, relap them, and then put it back on and see if we can get the engine going. Now then, before we get going, I'm going to spray as much as I can up with penetrating fluid, and that way it should theoretically make the nuts and bolts a little bit easier to undo. So let's crack on with it. So obviously doing a head gasket, we're going to have to take off all the electrical side of the engine and all the induction side and exhaust side of the engine. So preparing the electrical side of stuff, what we're going to have to do is obviously remember the firing order. Well, fortunately I know the firing order of a 6-cylinder engine on a GT6, but if this is your first time doing one, it's always handy just to mark up the leads with a bit of tape and just mark up which lead went where. As I say, fortunately I know the order on this is correct and I know it's set up correct, so I can just take these leads off and that's one less thing done, and then we'll get on with getting the carburetors off. So let's get these off. Right, so we've got the inlet manifold and exhaust manifolds removed. All the electrical side of the head has been taken off. We've taken off the rocker shaft, but from this point onwards we've got to be a bit careful how we take this engine apart, and this is the same for all engines. So with the push rods, what we need to do is get a piece of cardboard and label it up as 1 at the front and 6 at the back because it's 6-cylinder. And what we're going to do is we're going to put an arrow at the front of this cardboard so we know that's the front, and just write front, and remove the push rods one at a time and making sure we put them through the cardboard. If it will go through. There we go through there. Taking them out individually in the order that they're meant to be. So obviously 1 to 12 push rods there. So they go back in the same order. And the reason we do this is because these push rods and all engine components, they wear to themselves. So if you don't put them back in the same order, they won't quite be worn the same way, and you could end up with noises and horrible knocks and stuff like that. So it's a good idea to do it. It's just good practice. So we'll get those out. Once we've got all these out and into the cardboard and nicely done, we'll take apart the cylinder head. Now when taking apart a cylinder head, it's really important to undo it the reverse way to the way that you would clamp it down. So you start from the outside and work your way in. So anyway, let's get that all done. So there we are, the cylinder head's off, and I was quite surprised how loose the head gasket bolts were. But that actually might be the reason why it was low on compression, because the head bolts might not have been done up tight enough. I don't know, because this engine's been out of action for about 30 years. Number 6 cylinder is completely corroded to hell, so we're going to have to actually address this issue and clean it all up. But we're going to clean up all of this in the next episode and get it all prepared for getting ready to put it back on the engine. So anyway guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.